Welcome back to Tech Stack for all you tech enthusiasts. This is part 5 of our Laravel 13 series, and today we're going to learn about views in Laravel. A view is the part of an application that displays information to the user. In Laravel, a view is a blade template that shows data and creates the user interface seen by users. Before we move further, let's understand views in Laravel with the help of a simple diagram. The controller sends data to the view after processing the user's request. The view is responsible for displaying that data in a user-friendly format. The user sees the final response through the view. Now we will create a view using Artisan command. PHP Artisan make :view department. This command will automatically create a blade view file named department.blade.php inside the views folder. Add an h1 tag with department page. This is a simple way to confirm that our view is created and working properly. Now, instead of using a command, we will manually create a new blade view file named customer. Sometimes we don't use Artisan commands and directly create view files inside the resources views folder. Inside the customer view, we'll add an h1 tag and display customer page. This confirms that our manually created view is working correctly. Now define the route in web.php using the view method. First, we will set the URL path to department. This is the route that will load our department view in the browser. The second parameter will be the view name, which is department. This tells Laravel to load the department.blade.php file when this route is accessed. Now create a similar route using the view method for customer. Now let's start the Laravel development server by running php artisan serve in the terminal. Now let's open the browser and test both routes, department and customer. This will confirm that our route view setup is working correctly for both views. As you can see, both routes are working perfectly in the browser. Now let's create a customer controller using the Artisan command, so we can bind our customer view inside it. This will create a new controller where we can handle all logic related to the customer view instead of using routes directly. Now create a function called getCustomer. This function will be used to return the customer view from the controller. Inside this function, we will return the customer view. This tells Laravel to load the customer.blade.php file when this method is called. Now let's go to web.php and create a route for the getCustomer method using route get. First, we will define the route path as customer. Use the function getCustomer. This tells Laravel to execute the getCustomer function when the customer URL is visited. We will import the customer controller into web.php so we can use it in our route. This allows Laravel to recognize the controller when we define the route. Now use customer controller in the route get method. Here we are telling Laravel to use the controller class for handling this route instead of writing logic in routes. Oops, we ran the customer controller command again by mistake. Now let's run php artisan serve to start the project. This will start our Laravel application so we can test everything in the browser. Now let's open the browser and test the customer route. Perfect. As you can see, everything is working correctly. Now we will create a nested view using Artisan command. PHP Artisan make:\view customer.info. This will create a view file inside the customer folder named info.blade.php, which we can use for structured views. Inside the view, let's add an h1 tag and display customer info. This confirms that our nested view is created and working correctly. Now let's go to the customer controller and create a new method called getCustomerInfo. This function will be used to return our nested customer info view. Inside this function, we will return the nested view using viewCustomer.info. Now, in web.php, define a route for our nested customer info view. Use the function getCustomerInfo. This tells Laravel to execute the getCustomerInfo function when the route is accessed. Use the path customer-info. This is the URL that will trigger our nested view through the controller method. Now let's test it using PHP Artisan serve. This will allow us to check if our nested controller view is working correctly. Now let's test customer-info in the browser. This will confirm that our controller, route, and nested view are all working together properly. Perfect. As you can see, everything is working fine in the browser. Now let's make this route dynamic by adding a parameter like name in the URL. Now update the controller method to accept the parameter name. This allows us to receive dynamic data for the URL inside our function. Now we will send the dynamic value to the view using an array. This makes the name variable available inside the Blade view, so we can display it. Now in the Blade view, we will display the dynamic name using double curly braces. This is Blade syntax used to safely print variables inside the view. Now let's open the browser and pass a name in the URL to test it. As you can see, when we change the value in the URL, the output is changing accordingly. Now let's learn how to check whether a view exists before loading it. For this, import Illuminate, support, facades view. The view facade provides helper methods for working with views, including checking if a view file exists. Now let's use an if statement along with view exists to check whether the view file is available. Inside view exists, we will pass the view name customer.info. Laravel will check whether the customer info.blade.php file exists before trying to load it. In the else block, echo view not found. This helps us handle missing views gracefully instead of showing a Laravel error page. Now let's open the browser and test our code to see whether the view exists or the fallback message is displayed. Perfect. As you can see, our view existence check is working correctly. Now let's change the view name from customer.info to customer.data inside view exists and test it again. The condition will fail and the code inside the else block will execute, displaying view not found. Perfect. As you can see, since the view does not exist, Laravel executed the else block and displayed view not found. This confirms that our view exists condition is working correctly and helping us handle missing views safely. If you're passionate about learning new technologies, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tech Stack, and keep learning new skills. Thank you. And remember, consistency is the key to success.